Grand abundance, grand abundance. Um, Pray that everybody's having a great day. Um, I've been seeing the post with the lady that was calling around the different churches asking for help with her child formula. Um, I'm going to say this. Thank you to the pastor that helped her and raised 90,000. We got that formula for the baby crying, and the lady actually came to church with the baby to get the formula and stuff. So thank you to that pastor. But to those that turned this lady down, thinking that it was a scam, thinking that it was BS when the young lady needed help, and she turned to the church. I'm gonna share my life story, one of some of my experiences with you, one of my experiences rather. When I was in church, I got called out of my name and I got called everything but a child of God because I asked questions. Now, let me say this, my life ain't perfect. And no, I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. My mother did the best that she could do. Um, with what she had, what she deemed as love. And then I had the best relationship there. Had to do a lot of healing. But what made that worse was the people that were supposed to be the example of God and didn't know that their own children were in gangs, their own children was following orders that I gave. Now, let me say this. When I got older, y'all were calling me out, y'all were rebuking me openly for stuff that I didn't even do wrong. I said that to say this. Even when I asked for help, now I'll give the pastor a greater faith credit for one thing. He let me use the phone there, but no, they wouldn't give me any money to pay a phone bill or anything like that. Not that I can remember, unless the Spirit remind me. But they were ones that called me out, rebuked me every Sunday for crap that they were doing that I was not. Um, Show y'all something, and I'm going somewhere with this. I'm gonna make a point. Now here's where my story comes in. Little did you guys know that every time that I was knocking in that church door, I had a slew of people paying attention and looking at me to see how y'all was gonna treat me. Now it probably wasn't fair, but they were looking because if you couldn't treat me right, they felt as though you couldn't treat them right. And they were wondering why I turned to God, why I was trying to get salvation for my life, why I was trying to do this, trying to do that. A lot of times, anytime a person comes, thankfully, God showed who he was by himself. But to you, dear pastors, be careful how you treat somebody because there's somebody waiting to see the God in you. And I'm going to say this to people every day. There is somebody waiting to see the God in you. There is somebody that's paying attention to your life as to be the example Because if you mistreat that person and they know that person really don't bother nobody, really don't get into ruckuses and dramas and going back and forth with people, when they see that and you mistreat them, they figure that God's gonna let you mistreat them also because the way you handled the other person. And I remember that particular pastor's wife asked the young man that kept standing out there with a brown paper bag. Now he had a concealed weapon in that bag. He had a pack of Newports, and he had some other things. He told her, he said, the reason why I'm standing here like this because I'm waiting on him to stop taking y'all shit. Uh, and go ahead and unalive y'all. That's what he said. And he said, because we know him to be better than that. We don't even understand why he goes to this church when he's better than that. The streets will love it. That's what they said. Now, y'all, I wasn't going to that church for those people. I was looking for God. I was looking for Jesus. Now, I was a person that they didn't even know had encounters with God. That I felt crazy and I couldn't explain at the time because no one was really talking about visitations from God. No one was really talking about it. Like I said, they were okay with a dead Moses, okay with a dead Jesus. They were okay with a dead prophet, okay? But they were not okay with experiences that happened within the life that they could see every day. Kind of like the way they did Jesus back then. And I bet a lot of people can identify with this. And if it had not been for the power of God, bottom line, Boots would have came up missing. I thank God that God doesn't behave the way that people do. And I hope that this makes sense and I hope that this helps somebody. Because people are supposed to exemplify. But the one thing that I understand in life, the best exemplifying of God is what you do in your life. And sometimes you have to let people reap and sow their own consequences. You have to let them reap what they sow. And I say this with all love and with all understanding. Number one, stop praying for friends and stop praying for people to be real in your life, and then when they come, you're not healed. Two, stop praying to have a congregation or to be a leader and to do what you say God told you to do, and then be scared to do it when it is asked of you. Now, in my case, I learned these things, and that is why I be willing to help people, because God loved me. So why wouldn't I administer that love? And I said that to say this. Remember, how you treat someone is how you're saying that you want to be treated. Hope this helps somebody. God bless. God blessings, peace, and prosperity. Because I learned better. And this is why I do better. God gave me what I needed. That also helped those people. Now, a lot of those people have successful marriages and everything because of God. God blessings. And because of Him making me an example, and I'm still being an example. Peace and God blessings.